In this video, I'll demonstrate another use case of SmartSkeMa. In this use case, features are extracted from sketch maps drawn on top of the satellite image. The idea is that once these features have been drawn, the sketch map is digitized and the digital objects are extracted. This use case was motivated by our work in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, the first level registration for land information has already been completed. This means that all landowners have some form of certification for their land parcel. However, these information lack additional details. For example, some of the details inside of the parcels which may be useful during land consolidation processes. In our example use case, a local authority has collected the sketch map which was drawn on top of a satellite image and wants to extract this information and add them to an existing land information database. As you can see on the top panel, the community, the individual owners, come together to draw the sketch maps to delineate their land parcel. This delineation, once performed, comes together with a set of attributes. These attributes specify what kind of objects were sketched in the image. Inside of the sketch itself, each of the objects is labeled by some numbering scheme, and these numbers become the keys to the legend which contains the attribute information. Once the sketching is complete, the sketch map is peeled off the underlying image. As you can see, this entails that we expect a sketch map that has been drawn on top of a transparent sheet which was laid on top of the satellite image itself. In addition to this, the sketch map must also contain a number of ground reference points. These are points for which the actual geographic coordinates are known. Once this has been done, the sketch map is then added to SmartSkeMa, and within SmartSkeMa, it is digitized to produce a vector representation of the ink that was drawn on the transparent sheet of paper. With this vector representation, a tool operator using SmartSkeMa can then take the known coordinates and geo-reference the sketch map itself and therefore obtain a set of geometries for which they have geographic reference. It is important to note that this geographic reference is very approximate. Once the sketch map has been digitized, it can then be geo-referenced using a set of ground control points or reference points. These are points for which the coordinates are already known and were marked on the satellite image. The tool operator can then update the information about the rights, responsibilities, and restrictions on each of the objects in the sketch map onto the digitized versions of those objects. This means that this information can then be automatically transferred into the land information system. Now I will demonstrate briefly how this looks like inside of SmartSkeMa. Now in SmartSkeMa, the procedure is quite similar as the previous use cases that we've shown. However, instead of loading the sketch map, you want to load initially satellite image for area that was sketched. Click satellite image, you get the satellite image, and then you want to load the drawing that was drawn on top of the satellite image. In that case, you select the particular drawing and you open it. As you can see here, the drawing is overlaid more or less exactly on the location where it was, and this is a result of the fact that the sketch map was drawn directly on top of the satellite image, of the printout of the satellite image, and on a paper of the same size. Once this is done, you can then process the satellite image, or rather the sketch that was drawn on top of the satellite image, and once the process is completed, you receive a vectorized version with simplified geometries. Once the vectorized map is loaded, you can then go to Tools, Editor, and select Edit Non-Spatial Attributes, and from which you can then select Add RRR in order to add new information. Right-click it, and then you can add the ownership type, select the party, and specify that he has the right, and add the record. Click OK, and then save the record once you're done. Remember that you can add rights information to each record in turn. You can also perform a non-spatial query by going to the Edit Non-Spatial Attributes menu, select Non-Spatial Query, and click on the object of interest, and then you can see, for example, here you have common ownership, and Jonathan has common ownership of this feature, as well as here Isaiah has a right, also common ownership on this feature. To close everything. Finally, in order to align the vectorized features, you will need to load the base map. Go to Load Files, select Load Base Map, select the image, and then it will be loaded on the right panel as before. Now you can simply select Align Maps and go to Align Satellite Drawing. This will overlay the satellite drawing on your satellite image, and now you can interact with the information in the image. For example, if you open the editor tool and the non-spatial attributes editor, you can select non-spatial query, and then if you go to the feature of interest, for example, click it, you get the information or the records that you had entered before when you were editing the vectorized sketch map. And that is all. Thank you.